Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about running Visual Studio Code online. We all know about Visual Studio Code. It is a great editor. I recently started using Visual Studio Code. I'm not really an expert, but so far I'm quite impressed. It is really fast. It works really well on Mac because I use Mac for my day-to-day activities. And the best part is that you can actually install different extensions, and it will of course let you do those formatting very easily. So this is really interesting because when I was looking online about how I can run Visual Studio Code online, maybe I want to do some editing directly on my files on the server, I came to know about this service called coder.com, and I'm not sure for how long or since when they are providing this service, but it seems like you can actually run Visual Studio Code online, and you can either do it on their platform. You can actually click on this button called Try Now, and it will let you sign up for their free service, and you can start using Visual Studio Code and access it online over the browser. And I will show it to you in a minute how it looks like, but you can also use Docker if you want to run Visual Studio Code maybe using Docker. So there is there is actually a possibility for doing that using Docker. But the best part is you can also host this application on your own server. So if you click on the button that says host yourself, you will be taken to their GitHub profile where they have provided, of course, instructions to do this, hosting it on your own server using Docker, or you can actually download the binary files as well. That will, of course, let you to install on your own server, and you can start using Visual Studio Code over the internet using your web browser. So if you are just evaluating, or maybe if you're just doing some lightweight editing, maybe you don't have thousands of files, you can still use their service. If you click on the Try Now button, you will be taken to, of course, you first need to sign up, but the moment you log in, you will be taken to this URL called id.coder.com, and the moment you log into this URL, you will realize that the interface, the features, or whatever you can do with Visual Studio Code locally, you can do everything here. I mean, I'm not really an expert Visual Studio Code user, but so far I have not seen anything that I can't do online. It looks exactly like my local Visual Studio Code. You have the same options on top, and you also have the option to use the terminal, which is great. Maybe you're developing some application, maybe you're doing some quick hack, maybe, or you're just trying to write something very quickly, and you can just use the terminal here on the browser using the same browser window, and you can also look at the code. You don't need to go to the terminal. You can actually do it from your browser, which is great. And I can think of different use cases. Maybe you want to do some lightweight coding while you're on the go. Maybe you have a tablet. You can just open up this URL id.coder.com, and you can start coding if you want. Or maybe you're using or maybe a not very strong laptop, or maybe you're using a Chromebook. So for some reason you want to collaborate maybe with other users, and you want your code to be accessible in an environment where you can both maybe you and your colleague, or maybe your team, can work together. I think this can be really interesting, and I would probably continue exploring what all I can do. The next thing that I will actually do is I will install this binary on one of my virtual private server, and I'll probably try to create some application. These days I am thinking of learning React, and I've never really worked a lot on JavaScript's framework, and I think this seems like a really nice way to do some quick learning and doing it everything online. I don't really want to get into that workflow where I will do some development locally. Then I will, of course, deploy it on a server. Of course, it's a good practice to commit your code, which I believe you can still do it. But I want to just keep it simple, make some code, write some code, create some application, and just test it immediately over the internet, which is live. And this seems like a very good way where you can use Visual Studio Code and you can actually start coding immediately on the internet, over the internet. And of course, this is not really something for heavyweight coding or development. Maybe you can do some heavyweight coding, but since it is over the internet, you cannot really expect it to be very fast. So far, in my opinion, I think if you're using a decent internet connection, it looks all right to me. So far I've not really seen anything bad in terms of performance. It works quite nicely, and I'm quite satisfied with it. So in this video, I just wanted to share this amazing application, Coder.com. Just go and evaluate it yourself, and I hope you will also like it. So I hope this video was useful. Thank you very much.